Good day everyone, good day sir. Today, we are about to discuss the affective domain of learning. So before anything else, I would like to review the objectives of this topic. First, at the end of the discussion, the students should be able to define what the affective domain is, identify 5 levels that are evaluated within the affective learning domain, understand the learning outcomes of affective learning domain, depict real-life examples of affective learning domain, and lastly, discuss the relevance of affective learning domain in mathematics. So, affective domain, it is just a short history. It is a part of Bloom's taxonomy that was published in 1965 for identifying, understanding, and addressing how people learn. So, affective domain, this is concerned with learners' attitudes, values, interests, and appreciation. When we are in a school, or when we are in a school-based or in a school setting, we must consider the emotional state of our students for them to understand and grow their development. So, here at the center, there is an inverted pyramid. The yellow is the lower part and the green is the upper part. The first one is, the level 1 is receiving. Being open to receiving knowledge and willing to listen. In this level, the teacher is lecturing and the students will open their ears. Then they will understand what teacher delivers at that moment. Kapag yung teacher lecture ng specific topic, may information or knowledge na makukuha yung mga estudyante. Yun yung sa phase ng receiving. Level 2 is responding, engaging in active participation in knowledge transmission. Kapag narinig nila yung information from that lecturer or from that teacher, magkakaroon na sila ng urge to act, to participate in that specific information. Kagaya lang ng ang teacher magbibigay ng group discussion or group activities, then ikaw or the learners will have will show their willingness sa discussion na iyon. Then third is valuing. Finds learning to be worthwhile and valuable, which inspires individual to keep studying. After niya nalaman yung information, nagkaroon na sila ng reaction regarding with that specific information, magkakaroon na sila ng valuing, where in fact, i-value na nila yung nalaman nilang information kasi for them, it is very interesting and it is important. Okay? So level 4 is organization. Integrating and contrasting values, classifying students based on priorities. One example of this is when we have a lot of activities, then nagkakaroon tayo ng to-do list. When we organize our activities, di ba napapansin natin mas nauna, nasa list natin yung pinaka-importante or yung pinaka-mas malapit sa due date. Then the second one is yung kailangang bigyan ng importansya kasi nga importante rin. Then pinakababa na yung hindi na gaano importante. And that's how we organize the information or the task that the teacher gives to us. Okay? So last part, the higher level, which is the level 5 characterization. Value that will determine the result and behavior. After you grasp the information, then in level 5, i-internalize mo na siya. When we say internalize, we are fully aware that this system or that certain information will absorb in our own system, then gagamitin natin as a guide when it comes to decision making, when it comes to socializing with others, and other aspects of life. Okay? So, let's proceed with the examples and learning outcomes. First, the receiving. The student pays close attention to the instructor, acknowledges the value of education, and closely monitors the events taking place in class. Yung sabi ko nga kanina, pag sa classroom setting tayo, si teacher mag-lecture and the students will listen for them to absorb the information. So, pangalawa, responding, the student reply the query posed by the teacher, engage in conversation, group delivers a speech and respects protocol or obeys insist. Usually, when we are in an academic institution, there are lots of rules and regulations na pinapalo natin. Then, kapag si teacher nagbigay ng activities, nagkakaroon tayo ng active participation, then ginagawa natin yung task kasi that's how we respond to that activity. Okay? The sunod is valuing. The student shows willingness to solve problems. Enjoy reading excellent books and back suggestion for increasing competence. Diba? Kapag si teacher sa mathematics nagbigay ng problem solving, then we cannot ensure that all students are good in solving problems. So, may ilan dyan na hindi motivated, dismaya kasi nga hindi nila alam yung gawin nila. But then the teacher should have this kind of teaching strategy na kaya niya engganyo, kunin yung atensyon ng estudyante niya para mas matuto. Then after that, pag si student na walang gana o hindi siya motivated, nagkakaroon siya ng gana, nagkakaroon siya ng willingness sa kanyang pag-aaral. Then, at that moment, nagkakaroon siya ng binavalue niya yung pag-aaral niya kasi nga motivated na siya and alam niya yung anong gagawin niya. Then, fourth is organizing. The example or the learning outcome here is sets sensible time priorities to balance the needs of one's family, studies, and self. Yung nga sabi ko kanina na sa part na ito or sa level na ito, yung mga estudyante, alam na nila kung anong priority nila. Okay? So, last part, the last level is characterization by value or value set. The student demonstrates self-reliance and respects people for who they are rather than what they look like. A big example of this is when a teacher introduces a scenario na alam mo yung kapupulutan ng aral, then the moral there will serve as a guide para yung estudyante alam niya kung ano yung magiging action niya kapag siya ay nalagay sa ganung klaseng situation or ganung scenario. Then, what I have said a while ago, the affective domain will help us to formulate or to hypothesize our own observation, our decision making, and other aspects na meron tayo sa buhay. At this point, let me call Ms. Jasmine for the advantage of affective domain.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Awal. And now let's proceed to the advantage of affective domain of learning. Students comprehend and develop their sentiments, attitudes, and values. So for instance, we are in a classroom settings like in elementary or high school level. So kagaya dun sa subject na ESP, character education, GMRC subjects. So, yung mga teachers natin is tinuturuan tayo paano maging magalang or paano makipag-socialize ng maayos at paano maging mabuting tao. So, with that, na-acquire natin or na-adapt natin yung mga tinuturo ng teacher natin in our daily lives. So, that is the advantage of affective domain of learning. And now, let me introduce you to the next reporter, which is Miss Delgado.
Thank you, Ms. Rakim. So let's proceed to the disadvantage of affective domain of learning. First is changing of mood or feelings immediately. Second is students could feel pressure to please the teacher with compliments and as a result not give truthful responses. So we know that moods or feelings is so vague and have a lot of factors that can affect our learnings. So first example for the this setback is kapag yung teacher maganda yung responses niya sa work ng student niya, is doon magkaka-feel yung student na magiging motivated siya sa lahat ng gagawin niya. And then kapag hindi naman maganda yung responses ng teacher sa kanya, is doon na siya magkaka-feel ng disappointment sa sarili niya, and then mas lalo siyang parang magiging malungkot siya kapag every time na may gagawin siya, and then ganun lang yung sasabihin ng teacher. And second example naman is kapag yung teacher naman is kumbaga terror yung teacher, doon na magkakaroon ng bad attitude yung bata, na hindi na siya papasok dahil ganun yung ugali ng teacher nila. And yun yung sobrang laking impact sa affective domain when it comes sa learning ng mga bata.
Let's proceed. For the real-life example, we have introducing ethical dilemmas in the classroom. By incorporating ethical dilemmas inside the classroom, engage affective domain by prompting students to explore emotion, values, and ethical decision making. And by discussing real-world scenarios, engage empathy, critical thinking, and the development of social reasoning skills. And in addition, as a teacher, we know that inside the classroom, students are diversified in attitude, diversified in feelings, and diversified in values. So as a teacher, we need to respect them, treat them, and treat them equally, as well as appreciate them equally. Like for example, we have mathematics activities or projects. Simple appreciation for their work or answer can make them feel happy and can boost their self-confidence that can lead to self-improvement. And lastly, in that way, we can avoid the loose confidence of our student.
I am the last reporter of our group, and my topic is on the relevance of affective domain to mathematics. So first is personal growth. So as an educator, we should not only impart mathematical knowledge, but also consider or nurture and promote positive emotions, attitudes, and beliefs, in which empower students to develop confident and resilient individuals who approaches challenges with a sense of curiosity and belief in their capacity for continuous improvement. So next is self-management. So by believing in their own capabilities to understand and succeed in math is fundamental in self-management. So positive experiences, encouragement, and effective feedback contributes to the development of a strong sense of self-efficacy, which empowers students to take ownership of their own learning journey. So next is concentration. Here in concentration, it is also a fundamental aspect of affective learning, affective domain, which also considers the factor of emotional and attitudinal factor, which can either enhance or hinder this critical cognitive process. So by cultivating positive emotions and fostering favorable attitude, addressing math anxiety, and tailoring teaching methods to individual preferences, this can, as an educator, we can create an environment in which that optimizes students' concentration. So that's all for my report.
Okay, that would be all. I hope you learned something new today. We are the group 5. Our topic is affective domain of learning. Okay, bye!